If you're curious about the Ukraine-Russia conflict, then this video is for you. Here's a quick dive into the key events and implications. The Ukraine-Russia conflict is a complex and multifaceted issue that has deep historical roots and significant geopolitical implications. Understanding this conflict requires a look back at the history of the region, the political dynamics at play, and the human stories that have emerged from this ongoing crisis. It all began after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Ukraine gained independence but faced internal divisions between a pro-European West and a pro-Russian East. These divisions were not just political but also cultural and linguistic, with the western part of Ukraine leaning towards European values and integration, while the eastern regions had stronger ties to Russia, both culturally and economically. This internal split set the stage for future conflicts. Fast forward to 2013 when President Yanukovych rejected an EU association agreement, sparking the Euromaidan protests. These protests led to his ouster in February 2014. The Euromaidan movement was a significant turning point, as it highlighted the Ukrainian people's desire for closer ties with Europe and a move away from Russian influence. The protests were marked by violent clashes, and the eventual ousting of Yanukovych led to a power vacuum and further instability. In March 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, a strategic region with a significant Russian-speaking population. This move was condemned internationally and led to sanctions against Russia. The annexation of Crimea was a bold move by Russia, justified by the Kremlin as a response to the will of the Crimean people, who voted in a disputed referendum to join Russia. However, the international community largely viewed this as an illegal occupation. By April 2014, the conflict had spread to eastern Ukraine. Pro-Russian separatists in Donetsk and Luhansk declared independence, igniting a brutal war with Ukrainian forces. Russia supported the separatists, though it denied direct involvement. The conflict in eastern Ukraine has been marked by intense fighting, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The war has also led to significant displacement of civilians, with many fleeing their homes to escape the violence. In February 2022, the conflict escalated dramatically when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, citing NATO aspirations and the protection of Russian speakers. This invasion caused widespread destruction, civilian casualties, and a refugee crisis. The full-scale invasion marked a new and devastating phase in the conflict, with cities across Ukraine coming under heavy bombardment. The international community responded with increased sanctions on Russia and military aid to Ukraine, further complicating the geopolitical landscape. As of 2025, the war has become a war of attrition, with Russia controlling about 18% of Ukrainian territory. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing, with recent talks aiming for a ceasefire. The prolonged conflict has taken a heavy toll on both nations, with economic hardships, loss of life, and widespread destruction. The international community continues to push for a peaceful resolution, but the path to peace remains fraught with challenges. So, what are the underlying causes? Geopolitical tensions, historical and cultural factors, and internal divisions all play a role. Ukraine's desire for European integration clashes with Russia's strategic interests. The roots of this conflict are deep and complex, involving centuries of history, shifting alliances, and the struggle for national identity. Ukraine's strategic location and its aspirations for a future aligned with Europe are seen as direct threats to Russia's sphere of influence. This conflict has significant consequences for Ukraine, Russia, and the broader international community. Stay informed, and let's hope for peace. The ongoing crisis has reshaped global politics, with countries around the world taking sides and the balance of power being tested. The human cost of the conflict is immense, and the need for a lasting resolution is more urgent than ever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.